Hey guys, I'm John Settler. Welcome back to Man Cave Meals. Today we're going to fire up the Alfa wood-fired oven and we're going to cook a Boston butt. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do here is get a small fire going in the fire grate in the center of the grill. And once it gets going, we're going to move it over to the left side and add some wood. While we're getting the oven ready, I'm going to prep this butt. I've got an 8-pounder. It's a little over 8-pound bone-in Boston butt. And I'm going to rub this today with this Atlanta Grill Company Georgia Butts and Ribs Sweet Smoky Paprika Blend rub. So that's going to be really good. Okay, we've got our fire going, so I'm going to move the fire grate. We're going to move it over to the other side, and I'm going to sweep the deck off. And we're going to put one more regular size split on there. And the grill is actually going to get hotter than I want it to be. I'm sorry, the oven is going to get hotter than I want it to be, but we're going to start cooking on the downswing for temperature. So we're just going to let this go for a while we continue prepping our meat. One of the things we're going to be doing today with this cook, since this is a lot longer cook than normal, is we're going to be trying to maintain our fire and manage the temperature in the grill or in the oven at a temperature that's suitable for cooking a Boston butt. And my target today is to stay between 300 and 400 degrees Fahrenheit. So what I have is some of these splits of oak that are about roughly 12 inches long. I buy these for various reasons, and these are pretty good for using in the wood-fired oven, but to maintain the lower temperature, what I've done is I've taken some of these larger ones and broken them into smaller pieces with my hatchet. So we're going to work with smaller pieces to keep the fire going once we have things established. Okay, I've got my Boston butt prepped. I've got it rubbed down with that rub, and I've decided we're going to put this on a roasting rack in a roasting pan for quite a few reasons. For those of you that have cooked these before, you know that we're going to get a lot of grease rendering out of this, so we want to catch it and be able to control that. So I'm just going to slide it in, and we're going to monitor this guy. I'm going to come check on it probably about every 30 minutes. And currently my oven is running at 325 or so, and that's going to fluctuate. Like I said, my target here is I just want to keep this thing between 300 and 400 degrees Fahrenheit for the duration of this cook. And we're probably going to be looking at 5 to 6 hours. It would be my guess. So we'll see how long it takes when everything's said and done. We'll be back a couple times to check on this, because like I said, I'm going to rotate it, and after the exterior of this thing gets looking like I like it, we're going to tint it with foil. Okay guys, we've been going about 30 minutes here, and I've already twisted this once. As you can see, we're getting kind of dark there. That's about the edge of where I'd like that to be, so we're going to put a little foil over it. I'm just going to kind of loosely tint it. To shield it from some of that heat. It's about like that, and we're going to slide it back in and let it keep on cooking. Okay, our temperature inside there has come down to about 300 degrees Fahrenheit or so on the thermometer. So I've got this little small split that I'm going to toss in there and just let it go. Okay guys, we've been going a little over 2 hours, and after I got my fire back in check, I went ahead and took the foil off of that, and I've been turning it, and I'm pretty happy with what this looks like on the outside now. So what I want to do next is we're going to go ahead and take this off, and I'm going to tightly wrap this in foil and put it back in the oven. Okay, I've got it wrapped up, and I've stuck my meat thermometer in there. We're going to put it back in and let it go. I'm probably going to turn this into sliced pork rather than pulled pork. I'm not sure yet, but we're going to let that go probably until the meat thermometer reads up about 190 degrees internally. That's about where I like to pull for slicing pork, so we'll just let it cook. And also, I'm going to continue to rotate it every 30 or 45 minutes. Okay, we've been rolling about 6 hours here, and the internal temperature of my roast is up to about 190 degrees, which is about right where I want this for pulling or for slicing this beef or pork. I'm sorry. We're going to take this off and I'm going to let it rest for about 30 minutes or so before we go into it. Okay guys, I've let this rest and just unwrapped it here. This thing looks beautiful. We're going to take it out and cut into it and have a look. Alrighty guys, I'm going to take a slice off the end of this and we'll dive in here and have a look. Man, that looks beautiful. Have a look at that. It's just juicy. Look at that. So that's how you cook a whole Boston butt roast on an Alfa oven. I hovered between 300 and 400 degrees for this entire cook. It was anywhere in that range. It would be on the high end when I'd put a new piece of wood in, and it would come down to 300. And I'd just add another piece of wood. So you're gonna have to give this a try. Let me know what you think. Until next time, this is John Setzler with Man Cave Meals.